Hi everyone, this is Chris Crazy House here, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the ridiculous memes and responses I've seen to the release of the PS5 or the unveiling, I should say, of the PS5 because it hasn't necessarily been released yet. But there are a lot of people talking about it, and what I mean by the ridiculous response is there are a lot of women making these posts where they're saying that like a real man doesn't want a game system, or a man rather have they're saying stuff like a man rather have me than, or like quality time with me rather than sitting there playing video games all day. And I've noticed this, and my whole thing is why do why do women get offended? Or I guess I even shouldn't say women. Usually this comes from a lot of young females, but why do they get offended when something comes out or when there's anything that might take a man's attention away from them? Whereas something that doesn't involve them or something that they don't like, they start getting a little upset or even almost seem somewhat jealous of it. I've always found that very interesting. Like, I'm not a big sports fan, but, there are a lot of men who like watching football or who like watching boxing or basketball. And there are women who will get upset when a man wants to sit down and watch the game, as if there's something wrong with that. Or if a man wants to sit with his friends and watch the game. It's the same thing I used to see when I was in college, and even afterwards, women would get upset when guys who watched anime would want to, go watch anime. Like they want to go watch Dragon Ball Z or something, or guys want to go watch a boxing match or MMA match, or if guys want to watch a show that they really like. You know, if women don't feel like they're included with that, they get offended. And sometimes they even try to sabotage that, which I find derogatory. Like I used to see that when I was younger with my own mother trying to sabotage my stepdad watching the football game. Always trying to find something else for him to do or ask him to do something else when he's watching the game. I don't think that's right when people do things like that, because I think it's disrespectful to do that, because when they watch their shows or watch something that they like or participate in something they like, no one's trying to interrupt them from doing that for the most part. Men don't usually, if there's something that women like and that they want to involve themselves in, or a hobby that they have, for the most part, most men just stay out of their way and let them go ahead and do it. But it seems like when a man has some sort of focus outside of, that's not tied into a woman or what women like, then all of a sudden it's something bad. And I never appreciated that. Now, there are couples out there who like the same things, and I think that's fantastic when you can find someone who's into the same thing as you are. Like if you can find a woman who's into anime, or a woman who likes playing video games, or a woman who likes superhero movies, or a woman who likes comics, that's a fantastic thing to find. And if you find one like that, you need to just hold on to her as best you can, right? Because it's tough when you don't have, or it can be tough. I'll say this: it can be tough if you find someone who doesn't have the same interests as you, and they have that selfish mindset. Now, my wife and I don't have a lot of the same interests as far as entertainment that we like to watch, but my wife respects me enough to not try to take that away from me. In fact, she'll encourage it by, she knows, even though she doesn't like comics, she'll buy me comics or graphic novels that she's heard me talk about, or things that I would like. She'll buy me sci-fi and fantasy movies that she thinks that I would like, or art books. She knows that I was a big fan of Alex Ross, so she bought me a bunch of his art books, stuff like that. That's a good thing to have, and vice versa. I do the same for her. I know there's like an author that she really likes, so I'll buy those books for her. I'll buy her gift cards or materials for sewing, because she's very much, that's her big hobby, sewing and making quilts and clothing and stuff like that. So if I see something that's, I think that she'll appreciate, I'll get that for her, even though that's not a big hobby of mine. And I think that's the best possible way you can be in those situations. You don't necessarily have to like the same things, but you should respect what the other person likes and enjoys, and definitely don't try to sabotage somebody or accuse them or take something away from them if they want that thing. Like if there's a man that wants a game system, there's nothing wrong with having a hobby, or there's nothing wrong with you if you like playing video games. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your hobby, that's what it is. Play your video games and let your man have fun. Now, obviously, anything that you take too much time away and get obsessed over, that can be a problem. I can understand that, where you just sit and play the game all day, all night, and you don't do anything else. Like you don't work or whatever, or it starts interrupting your real life. Then I can see where that becomes a problem. But if you just have a healthy time to play games or whatever, you're not neglecting your family or your significant other, there's nothing wrong with having that as a hobby. And I don't think any woman should feel jealous or try to take away someone's passion or someone's hobby just because they might feel somewhat slighted or that their man is ignoring them for wanting to play a video game. It doesn't matter if it's not real or if it's something that you consider juvenile. If they like it, they like it, and you should show respect to that. The same way he shows respect for things that you do that he probably does not understand or even want to deal with, but he shows respect enough for you that he allows you to do it or participate in it without trying to tear you down mentally or spiritually for doing so. So you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. This is not necessarily a report about the PS5. I don't know much about it. We will see. I guess if I could ever see a demo of one, then maybe I'll do a report on it. But for the most part, I don't get excited for game systems like I used to. It's just not something that excites me like it used to anymore. I'm more into just the games themselves and not so much the system. So if you have any news about it, feel free to let me know in the comments section. Anyway, Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.